Can you still tell what that is? Pretend like you can if you can. Anyway, hi, my name is Angie. Welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I have a giant book haul for you. Probably the biggest book haul that I have ever done on my channel. I could be wrong. Watch, like, there's something on here that's more than these 14 books. However, I have 14 books that I have bought recently. I'm pretty sure it's 14. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... I lied. I have 15 books. So I have a 15 book haul for you today. I somehow, every time I leave the house, I feel like I deserve a coffee and a book. Don't know how it keeps happening, but it keeps happening. So I've accumulated 15 books here for you, as you saw by the thumbnail. That was very difficult to pick up. I might put some of those clips in because I record and then take a picture. We'll see though, because that was honestly a struggle and it was a little bit embarrassing on how I could not pick up the stack of books. Anyway, let's get into it. So, I'm putting myself on a book buying ban as soon as this video is over, except for the book club reads and something that I really want to read, and basically I probably won't stay on a book buying ban, but I'm going to try my hardest. Starting off, I have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I believe that there are 3 of these, correct me if I'm wrong. This has been on my radar for a very long time. I'm surprised I never got to it, but I did pick this one up. It is the first book in the, if there are 3 books, the trilogy. This one says, this is the story of an investigation turned obsession. Pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend, Sal Singh? I could be wrong, who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about, and 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project, at first just to cast doubt on the original investigation. But soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal innocent, and the line between past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her own life might be in danger. My friend Vanessa actually just started the show. I refuse to watch the show until I read the book. So maybe this is going to be a fall read. Also, special shout out for the shirt. Does anyone like the Tate McRae shirt? I actually went to her concert last night with Jess and Cam. Here's some pictures right here. Amazing. Love it. Had a great time. Love her. Just had to... Let's have a moment for the shirt. Let's have a moment for Tate McRae. The next book that I got... You can see all of these. Just don't look over here, right? Okay. The next book that I got was New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. This is book 2 in the Twilight series. I read Twilight, I believe it was sometime in the springtime for my reading my friend's favorite books. Twilight was Jess's favorite book, or the book that she had chosen for me. I actually really liked it. I know a lot of people like kind of crap on that series because it's cringy or whatever. Honestly, for me, it feels like After, in the sense that it is like a guilty pleasure kind of book, so I had to pick it up. I'm going to continue the series, but I picked up New Moon, which, if anybody, I don't know if this will be a spoiler, so if it is, please skip to the next book. However, this says, I knew we were both in mortal danger. Still in that instant, I felt, well, whole. I could feel my heart racing in my chest, the blood pulsing hot and fast in my veins again. My lungs filled deep with the sweet scent that came off his skin. It was like there had never been any hole in my chest. I was perfect. Not healed, but as if there had never been a wound in the first place. So I'm excited to continue it. I have to continue it. There's no way that I wasn't going to. I think I flew through Twilight, if I'm remembering correctly. So this should be interesting. Again, I'm stopping myself from buying... Actually, I didn't take my own advice on that one, as you'll see about halfway through this video. I'm trying to stop myself from buying more than one book at a time in the series, trying to read like the first one, see if I like it, then continuing. But I have this weird thing where if I start it, I can't not finish. That's why I have such a problem DNFing. So I don't know, but I did that with this. I only bought Twilight, and now I bought New Moon, so we will be continuing Twilight very soon. Maybe, again, sometime fall, winter vibes is what I'm getting from this. Don't look at the next... You can see it! Oh my gosh, this is going terribly. The next book that I got was The Dixon Rule by O. Kennedy, which is book number 2 in the... What are we calling this? What is this series? Is there actually like a series title for this? I don't know. This one follows Diana and Shane. So if you read The Graham Effect, this is book number 2 in that. What is that series called? There has to be a series name for it. It's called The Campus Diaries. I just looked it up on Goodreads. Oh my gosh. Don't look at the book. Okay, you can't really see it. We're going to leave it like that if you didn't look at it already. There it is. So it's actually called The Campus Diaries. Sorry, I did not know what the series name was called, but this is book number 2. The first is The Graham Effect, which follows Gigi and I think his name is Ryder. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure his name is Ryder. Yes, Luke Ryder, because he only went by Ryder. So this one follows her friend Diana and I believe his friend Shane. So I told them I had a girlfriend. I start to laugh. This is the greatest day of my life. Oh, it gets better, Dixon. I told them it was you. Diana Dixon has a lot going on this summer. She's rehearsing for a ballroom dance competition, juggling 2 jobs, and dealing with an ex-boyfriend who can't take the hint it's over. Yet despite all that, she still has plenty of time and energy to tell Shane Lindy to screw off. Shane just moved into her apartment building and seems dedicated to sleeping his way through her entire cheerleading squad. Sure, he's a tall, gorgeous hockey player, but he's messing with her turf. This calls for some ground rules. No parties in her apartment, leave her teammates alone, and most importantly, leave her alone. What Diana doesn't realize is that Shane's sick of hookups and tired of being on the rebound after his long-term girlfriend called it quit. He wants a relationship, and when his ex comes back into the picture, he pretends he has one to make her jealous. And who better to play the girlfriend role than his sassy new neighbor? Despite Diana's reluctance to break her rule, a fake relationship is the perfect solution to her own ex issues, and soon she can't deny something is sizzling between her and Shane. Something hot and completely unexpected, and it might just be getting a little too real. I am super excited for this. I absolutely love The Graham Effect. If anyone doesn't know, I'm a Garrett Graham girly until I die, but this one seems very promising. It's a big book. I'm excited for it. Woo! Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it. See, I am kind of doing well with this whole not buying book in the next series thing until I get a little bit lower. The next book that I have is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. Apologies. I believe she wrote The 7-Year Slip. Could be wrong on that. I saw this. It was buy one, get one 50. I really wanted it. Tease. This one says, love is stranger than fiction. Aileen Elsie Merriweather loves to get lost in a good happily ever after, the fictional kind anyway, because at least imaginary men don't leave you at the altar. She feels safe in stories, at home in books, which might be why she's so set on going to her book club's annual retreat this year. She needs good friends, cheap wine, and a grand romantic gestures no matter what. When her car unexpectedly breaks down on the way, she finds herself stranded in a quaint town that seems like it's right out of a novel, because it is. This place can't be real, and yet she's here in Ellerton? The town from her favorite romance series, where the candy store's honey taffy is always sweet, the local bar's burgers are always a little burnt, and rain always comes in the afternoon. It feels like home. It's perfect. And perfectly frozen, trapped in the late author's last unfinished story. Elsie is sure that must be why she's here, to help bring the town to its storybook ending, except there is a character in Ellerton whom she can't place, a grumpy bookstore owner with mint green eyes, an irritatingly sexy mouth, and an impeccable taste in novels, and he does not want her finishing this book, which is a problem because Elsie's beginning to think the town's happily ever after just might be intertwined with her own. This one sounds so promising. I'm super excited for this one. I really want to read this one soon because I found it so interesting that she was actually like in the story, because what reader hasn't ever thought like, I am that main character, I want to be that main character and be with that guy? Like, then you're insane. Then you're not like a reader. Well, you are, but you know what I mean. Like, every book girly does that. Come on, you cannot tell me that you don't. So that one's really exciting and really promising. The next book is actually a little bit different from what I normally pick up, but for some reason I was just drawn to it and I felt like I wanted to read it so bad. And it is Matthew Perry's Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. So this one says, hi, my name is Matthew, and although you may not know me by my full name, my friends call me Maddie. So begins the riveting story of acclaimed actor Matthew Perry, taking us along his journey from childhood ambition to fame to addiction and recovery in the aftermath of a life-threatening health scare. Before the frequent hospital visits and stints in rehab, there was a 5-year-old Matthew who traveled from Montreal to Los Angeles, shuffling between his separated parents, 14-year-old Matthew, who was a nationally ranked tennis star in Canada, 24-year-old Matthew, who nabbed a coveted role as a lead cast member on the talked-about pilot then called Friends Like Us, and so much more. In an extraordinary story that only he could tell, and in the heartfelt, hilarious, warmingly familiar way only he could tell it, Matthew Perry lays bare the fractured family that raised him, and also left him to his own devices, the desire for recognition that drove him to fame, and the void inside him that could not be filled even by his greatest dream coming true. But he also details the peace he's found in sobriety and how he feels about the ubiquity? Something of Friends, sharing a story about his castmates and other stars he met along the way. Frank, self-aware, and with his trademark humor, Perry vividly depicts his lifelong battle with addiction and what fueled it despite seemingly having it all. I picked this one up, and Again, like I said earlier, I don't know what was drawing it to me, but I kind of want to go out of my comfort zone a little bit. This one really interested me, so I thought that I would pick it up. So I'm excited for this change of pace and what I normally read, and to see what this is all about, because I know a lot of people rave about it, so I'm very excited for this. The next book that I picked up was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This is a book that will be read sometime in the future for purposes that have nothing to do with the book club reads. Anyway, I picked this one up for the future, and this one says, France, 1714. In a moment of desperation, a young woman named Adeline meets a dangerous stranger and makes a terrible mistake. It will be 300 years before she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and discovers someone who can remember her name, and suddenly everything changes again. That is the only thing that I know about this book, and that I flipped through it, and my birthday was one of the dates. Except for the year. That is the only thing that I know for this book. I refuse to let things get spoiled for me, so I have no idea what I'm getting myself into, but a lot of people rave about this book. I do know that. I have heard this title be thrown around a lot, so this will be read in the future and maybe discussed with other people, but we don't know that yet, so shh. The next book, or books actually, you know how earlier on in the video I said that I was refusing to buy books in a series unless I read the first one? Yeah, well, I lied. I bought, oh, that one's not part of it. I bought 4 books, the first 4 books of the Like Us series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I absolutely love the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. I did just buy Dishonestly Yours. Yes, Dishonestly Yours. I have not read it yet. But something about the Addicted Calloway Sisters world, oh my god, I think about those characters every single day of my life. I put off reading the Like Us series because I just couldn't let go of the core 6, and I feel like it's time. I feel like I can move on. The Cobalt series, I believe, is coming out soon. It was announced a few months ago, so I know the Like Us series is finished, so I know that I can binge them. However, it was like $100 to get all of the books, so I limited myself to the first 4 at the very moment. So I got, which order does it go in? There are numbers on it? There's not, but I'm pretty sure that I know the order. This is gonna go bad. I don't think that I know the order. I could be wrong. I think I'm right here. I don't know. So I got Damaged Like Us, which I believe is book 1. The very first book follows Maximoff and his bodyguard, whose name is Pharaoh. So it says, don't date your bodyguard. It was the one rule he had to break. Maximoff hails a force of nature, a ship unwilling to be steered, headstrong, resilient, and wholly responsible. The 22-year-old alpha billionaire can handle his unconventional life. By noon, lunch can turn into a mob of screaming fans. By 2, his face is all over the internet. Born into one of the most famous families in the country, his celebrity status began at birth. He is certified American royalty. When he's assigned a new 24/7 bodyguard, he comes face to face with the worst case scenario, being attached to the tattooed MMA training Yale graduate who's known for going rogue in the security team, and who fills 1/3 of Maximoff's fantasies. 27-year-old Pharaoh Keene has one job: protects Maximoff Hale. Flirting, dating, and other things falls far, far out of the boundary for his bodyguard duties and into the termination territory. But when his feelings surface, protecting the sexiest and stubborn celebrity becomes increasingly complicated. Together, boundaries blur, and being exposed can mean catastrophic consequences for both. Alphas Like Us is book 2, and this is the continuation of Pharaoh and Maximoff, so I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not even going to read the back of it. However, I believe that this is book 2, but I could be wrong. Then I believe book 3 is Lovers Like Us, which again is Pharaoh and Maximoff. So it's just the continuation of their story. Again, don't want to read it. But I got all the special edition covers. Aren't they like literally the most beautiful things you've ever seen? I don't have my full list here right now because I literally had to print out a list. But I know that these 3 are them. I'm not sure with the continuation of them what other books they have, if they have other books. But again, I limited myself to 4 books. So I then got Tangled Like Us, which follows Jane Coble and her bodyguard, whose name is Thatcher. For anyone who doesn't know, Rose and Connor were like my favorite, so this is so exciting. Just looking at her, I'm like, I'm so excited. So this one says, how protect your heart, let your bodyguard have it. Jane Coble is an American princess. The loyal and painfully curious 23-year-old has inherited an immense pressure to preserve the Cobalt legacy. But for Jane's love and life have been a series of royal failures. After her friends with benefits and a disaster, she's sworn off her hiatus for well eternity and has no intention of letting anyone in her bed and definitely not her heart. 28-year-old Thatcher Moriarty 28-year-old Thatcher's last name, I cannot pronounce, is painfully professional. As the stern 24/7 bodyguard to Jane, thinking about this with his sweet client is a sin, one that he keeps committing, but the real act is a hard line he'd never cross. When a family member betrays Jane's trust, the media becomes obsessed with matchmaking the perpetually single Jane Cobalt, and unwanted attention suddenly compromises her safety. Thatcher would do anything to protect her, and one solution may level the threats: become the fake boyfriend to an American princess. Entwined together with boiling chemistry, new professional parameters, and an oath, unsaid feelings threaten to rise and change everything. I'm super excited for this. I think that once I start the series, I'm going to immediately read all of them. I want all of these special edition covers. I don't believe that they're going anywhere, but I'm honestly scared of it. So the minute I get a Barnes & Noble gift card, I'm probably going to buy the rest of the books. So we'll see how that goes. But as of right now, I did limit myself to the 4 first books. The next book that I picked up is actually something that I just grabbed at Barnes & Noble when I did the author signing for Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And I was like, I hear about you all the time. However, I never see you at my Barnes. Let's go. You're coming home with me. So I got The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. I read like 10 pages of it when I was sitting there in line waiting for the thing to start. Didn't finish it after that. I think I literally read not even a chapter. This one says, Beckett, if you're reading this, well, you know the last letter drill. You made it. I didn't. Get off the guilt train, because I know if there was any chance you could have saved me, you would have. I need one thing from you. Get out of the army and get to Telluride. My little sister Ella is raising the twins alone. She's too independent and won't accept help easily, but she has lost our grandmother, our parents, and now me. It's too much for anyone to endure. It's not fair. And here's the kicker. There's something else you don't know that's tearing her family apart. She's going to need help. So if I'm gone, that means I won't be there for Ella. I can't help them through this, but you can. So I'm begging you, as my best friend, go take care of my sister and my family. Please don't make her go through it alone. Ryan. I know that this is going to break my heart. I don't even know why I'm doing it to myself. However, I kind of feel like crying. So I feel like it'll be good. I'm really excited. This is going to be great. Aren't you so excited? Yes, very promising. Hear a lot about it. As seen on TikTok, as it says here by the cover. Also, you can just tell by the cover that it's going to break my heart. Why am I doing it to myself? I don't know, but that was the next one. The next book that I have is The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I actually got this one when I went to the signing. Look at that! Ah, she wrote my name in the book. That's amazing. I'm so happy. That was an awesome experience. If you did not see that video was out, I believe, when this goes up, like 2 weeks ago or so. Welcome to The Grandest Game, a dazzling, life-changing competition run by billionaire Avery Grahams and the 4 infamous Hawthorne brothers. I love them. I'm so excited. Designed to offer a chance at fame and riches, this year's game is limited to 7 lucky players. Lyra is haunted by the death of her father and the mysteries he left behind. She tells herself that she's playing the grandest game for the multi-million-dollar prize money, not for answers about the Hawthorne family's involvement in her father's death, and not to confront the infuriating, enigmatic, can't ever say that word, Grayson Hawthorne, who spurned her once before. Facing off against Lyra are Gigi, Grayson's half-sister and a human ray of sunshine who is determined to prove that she is capable of more than anyone has ever given her credit for, and Rohan, who has very few morals, a dangerous and eclectic skill set, and no future unless he wins the game. Swept away to a private island life with luxury and puzzles to be solved, Lyra, Gigi, and Rohan must do whatever it takes to best one another, a cast of formidable rivals, and a game only the sharpest minds can conquer. As sparks fly and the brain-bending challenges push the players to their limits, it becomes clear that everyone has secrets and the past ones stay buried forever. Who has what it takes to win? First of all, let's look at the cover. Let's admire the cover. Let's admire the book. Let's admire the author. Let's admire that it is signed. Ah! I literally can read one of these books in one sitting, so I know the minute that I pick this up, I will finish it that day. I am saving it, but it will be read very, very soon. I'm so excited. Mwah. So good. The next two books that I got actually go hand in hand, and again, I'm very proud of myself for this. So our book club read for the month of August was Powerless by Lauren Roberts. So I said to myself, Angelina, you are only going to buy Powerless. You are not going to buy the novella, and you are not going to buy the second book. So you know what I didn't do? I did not buy those two until I finished Powerless, and I regretted immensely that I did not have those two books in my possession at that very moment, because I would have sat down and continued reading. However, I made myself stop. I finished my book. I waited one day, and I went and got Powerful and Reckless by Lauren Roberts. So we have the little novella and then Reckless, which is the second book, which I'm not going to read the back of it to you, and I'm not going to read the back of this one to you, because if you have not read it, I don't want to spoil anything for you. I can read this one to you. I can tell you what this one's about. This one's not a spoiler. This one is about Adina and Peyton and how they've always been inseparable. Fate brought them together when they were young, but friendship ensured they would always protect each other in the home they built in the slums of Lou Alley. But now Peyton, an ordinary, has been selected for the purging trials, which means almost certain death. Now alone on Lou, Adina must fend for herself. After she attempts to steal, a mysterious man from the market comes to her rescue. Mac's shadowy past and her secretive power set him apart from the other low-level elites of Lou. And as the pair team up to see their loved ones before the trials, the quest tests their loyalty, their love, and their lives. So this is just about Adina when Peyton was at the trial. Why is this in the middle of my book? Put that on the floor. So is it all Adina's point of view, or is this other person? I don't know what I'm even getting myself into. It's a cute little novella. I have a love and hate relationship with the fact that it's small. Like, I get it that it's gonna be small, but it's kind of killing me that it's like shorter. I don't know. But that's a personal thing. And then we have Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which I'm not going to read to you because I believe that it's going to spoil it. Yes, it's going to spoil it. So I got the next one, and yes, I do have both of the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions because I accidentally, well, not really even accidentally, when I bought Powerless, only the exclusive edition was there. They didn't have the regular one, so I ended up with the exclusive edition, and therefore I want them all to match. So we have all the exclusive editions here right now. So I have both of them. I am trying so hard to hold off until that book club read is filmed for me to read these, because I don't want to know anything. I mean, I could definitely get away with this one. However, I don't think I'm going to be able to read this one before that book club thing is filmed, because I don't want to ruin anything for myself. So I do have those for the minute that is done being filmed. The very last book that I have in this ginormous book haul is something that I actually read for a video, like very, very long ago. I think it was one of like the first reading vlogs that I ever did on my channel, and that is 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole, which is book number 2. Is it technically like now being whatever? It goes with 1,000 Boy Kisses. I believe it was 1,000 Boy Kisses. I believe it was that. And this one says, when I came on this trip, I was shattered into 1,000 broken pieces, but one by one, the closer we grew to one another, you glued me back together. After losing her beloved sister 4 years ago, Savannah Litchfield has been living half a lie. Now 17, the age Poppy died, the pain of losing her is worse than ever. When her therapist suggests a trip around the world to help teens stricken by loss, Savannah reluctantly agrees. Clutching the unread journal, Poppy left her as she goes. Cale Woods is angry. Once the most promising hockey player in the junior league, Cale can no longer step on the ice without being paralyzed with memories of his older brother who died last year. When his parents sign him up for the trip abroad, no part of him wants to go, but he does. As Cale and Savannah embark on this journey of healing, they find solace together, discovering a glimmer of light only the other can bring. And the harder they fall, the more they might be able to heal fractured fragments of their hearts, piece by broken piece. 1,000 Boy Kisses shattered me completely. I was tearing up. I was crying. It was so sad. I knew it was going to happen. Everyone knows what's going to happen. However, nothing prepares you for the way that you're actually going to feel about it. So when I saw this one at Barnes & Noble the other day, I was like, you're going to break my heart and you're coming home with me. So I picked this one up. I'm going to read this one soon when I feel like crying. Maybe I'll have like a video of just reading sad books, because yeah, that's going to be great. So that brings this ginormous book haul to an end. I'm super excited. I feel like we have a really good range here. I definitely did not like go on a spur and buy like all hockey romance or all fantasy books or whatever. I definitely think I spread it out well, which is good. I'm excited for that. I'm putting myself in a book buying ban for at least the month of September. So if you catch me buying books, pretend that you didn't. To my friends who are watching this, don't let me buy any more books unless it's for a video. Okay? Okay, that brings this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next time.